Shadow work is a technique you use to look within yourself in order to find blockages and unhealed wounds, to heal them and create moments of awakenings that leads to an authentic life and emotional freedom. But some of you may be wondering, how do I even get started? Many people have different ideas on starting shadow work, and after seeing some other videos on YouTube, it might bring you more confusion than it gives you answers. So I'm going to list down 3 main ways you can start shadow work, which one is suitable for you, and stay to the end where I'll give you a bonus tip as well. Namaste, Sacred Masters. I'm Dr. Aiwas Yukehi, Shadow Work NLP Manifestation Coach, and I'm here to help you with your shadow work and manifesting questions, as well as give you tips on new ways you can practice your self-growth. Now, I get lots of questions about the best way to start shadow work, and in my opinion, it really depends on what you want to work on. You see, shadow work can be worked on in many aspects of your life, but let's break it down to the 3 most important ways first. Let's look at this diagram derived from the sacred triangle, otherwise known as the trinity. Shadow work comprises of 3 different ways you can do it: inner reality, outer reality, and meta reality. Each of them complement each other too, so if you want to work on one or all 3, that's up to you. Remember, a proton emits a positive charge, a neutron with no charge, and an electron emits a negative one, thus creating a trinity formed from higher strings of energy. The triangle also represents the number 3, which is a prime number, and all prime numbers are sacred. So let's look at all the different ways you can use these realities to do your shadow work. The first is inner reality. This is when you do shadow work from using your energies from within. Now, people who enjoy meditating, sitting quietly, and looking within with tools such as journaling will find this form of shadow work the most useful. You are basically looking into your inner reality in order to find blockages and unhealed wounds and going from there. You see, within all of us, our past has shaped us to become who we are. This doesn't just include achievements, but also traumas. We experience negative things in our lives that causes our subconscious to create blockages in order to protect us from hurt. For example, a child who does not receive enough love may grow up to have an avoidant personality in order to protect him or herself from pain when it comes to love. This blockage can cause you to pull away from situations that can actually be beneficial for you. Suppose you are in a relationship with the love of your life, but because of your avoidant personality, every time they try and help you grow by asking you to do something, you pull away and refuse to do it, thus impeding your own growth as a person and in your relationship, causing many tensions and arguments. By going into our inner reality and working on your past, you can free yourself to more loving relationships in the present and future. A lot of psychologists, psychiatrists, and life coaches call it inner child healing. I call it shadow child healing, which I find to be a more appropriate word because all our repressed feelings and emotions are stuffed deep down into our psyche, the shadow child. Healing the shadow child liberates you and frees you from the psychological blockages that causes your life to spiral in a never-ending cycle of familiar negative patterns. But how can you heal it? Obviously, it takes time, but I have uploaded a full shadow child healing course that you can look at it over here. You can watch this at your own time and pace and do the meditations I've created for you. So be sure to save this playlist as it will be very useful for you when you do inner reality work. Outer reality work. This is useful for people who might not otherwise find the time in their busy lives to be able to meditate or do introspective work like journaling. But do not worry, you can still do shadow work even when you are driving or are at a meeting. The technique most oftenly used in outer reality work is called projection. So, what is it? Projection is an unconscious defense mechanism you and your shadow uses when you see someone with a quality that you've rejected in your own personality. What does this mean? Basically, It means that we see in others what is actually in our mind. For example, one could accuse another of being rude without realizing that it is them who are being rude. When we catch ourselves expressing these negative traits against others, we are projecting. So, in being observant in how we behave in our outer reality, we can get some insight on what we need to work on. In the case of accusing people of being rude, we can work on being nicer and more compassionate to others. We are so used to being critics to others because it is our defense mechanism to being critical to ourselves. But the outer reality is merely a mirror to observe and allow us to understand better once we realize why we project onto others what is within ourselves. Projection also comes in the form of triggers. We all have triggers. For example, I am Asian and I can be easily triggered with racist slurs. When I started to look within, I project my triggers onto others by calling them racist if they use the slur or perhaps even dress in a way that is culturally insensitive. As I begin to use shadow work, what I do is catch myself feeling it first. I sit with this feeling to try and understand it. Why does it trigger me? How does it benefit me? In fact, it doesn't. Not only does it give others power over me, but my actions also fuse prejudice between dominant and minority groups. It is the distortion of my own self-perception and identity that helps create this negative collective psyche. As I begin to let it go, not allowing it to trigger me, I begin to see instances of racism die more and more in my life. That's because I don't see it, so I cannot perceive it. In fact, my life becomes happier and more free rather than live in the shackles of cultural oppression. By working with my outer reality, I change my inner reality as well. If you want to learn more about projection, click on this link above or in the description box below. Now, the most advanced form of shadow work is the meta reality. This can also be the most fun and also most unpredictable. If we are to look into what shadow work is, it is freeing the blockages in our subconscious mind to liberate ourselves. But most people think about the subconscious mind as an enigmatic thing. Most gurus actually tell you to program your subconscious by talking to it. Keep repeating something until it becomes habit, or your subconscious mind takes on new beliefs. Obviously, I was not satisfied with it. I didn't want my subconscious mind to be something I told it what to do like a child. I started devising ways of communicating with it. What if you could have a relationship with your subconscious mind? What if you could talk to it and it could talk back to you? You should see my video on communicating with the subconscious mind and how to do it. This will really open your eyes and you can actually find your blockages this way and knowing what to heal. Another method I devised for shadow work in the meta reality is in the world of dreams. Because dreams are the way the subconscious speaks to us. It will only make sense that by understanding our dreams, we can understand what our subconscious is telling us. My other free course I'm providing to you is on my playlist, Lucid Dreaming Advanced Shadow Work, where you not only understand your dreams, but you can control it, thus controlling and healing your shadow side right within your dreams, while you are sleeping. Now, all my courses are complete and free. There is no gateway to purchase anything or requires you to buy into anything. Remember, your mental and spiritual health is not a transaction. So there you have it, the inner, outer, and meta realities. 3 ways to do shadow work. But for some of you that just want to jump in quick and find my philosophies sometimes too much, I've created a really quick and easy series of shadow prompts for you in the form of a little game. I have a playlist called Pick a Card, Let's Do Shadow Work that I release new pick a card games every Thursday. What it is that I present 3 cards and you can either randomly pick one or use your intuition to pick one. Once you've done that, you can jump to the timestamp and see what the card reveals for you and what you can contemplate on for the week. These are called shadow prompts, or little nudges as I like to call it, to give you some ideas on a direction to go. Which way have you found to work best for you? Everybody is unique and different, so saying there's only one way is a very limiting belief. What is your favorite shadow work technique you use? And is it in the inner, outer, or meta reality? Or maybe even all three? Comment below and let me know if you'd like to expand on these topics as well. I'm here to help every one of you as much as I can. Shadow work can be scary for some. Just know you're not alone, and we have a community here ready to support you. I'm going to leave you with these 4 links you can click on. This is the inner reality work. This is the outer reality work, meta reality, and the bonus pick a card playlist for you. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell, and stay tuned for more shadow work tips. I'll see you in a week every Sunday. Namaste.